gained 216 yards and at 4.8 a clip, which is pretty good. And if you're doing that, that means you're controlling the ball, and that's what we ended up doing really well in the second half. We had the ball nearly 20 minutes, and the defense did a fantastic job in the game getting us the ball a couple times, and we made the most of it.
Yeah, just how important was that when you guys had the lead to kind of run and run and run and take so much time off the clock in the fourth quarter?
Well, we made some adjustments at halftime that allowed us to get a formation that they were having trouble with, and we just exploited it, and the guys blocked well and the runners ran well, and had them off balance a little bit, and it was a good scheme and a good adjustment, and the guys really played well.
How was it for you being on the sidelines, being able to talk with Sean for the entire game?
Well, it's important to be with the quarterback, particularly between series, to just see what he's, find out what he's seeing, making sure he's on top of what they're doing, the coverages, how the corners are playing, all that stuff. So it's always good to touch base between series, and it's beneficial.
How is the communication with Riley?
Fantastic. Coach is so great during the game. So it's such a good feel for calling plays, and he's real open to suggestions, and it was a good rapport.
Red zone, obviously an issue for you guys. How is the mentality? I mean, how are these guys going to bounce back?
Oh, bounce back easy from a 29-14 win. There's not much bouncing. That's really good. It's hard to win a football game. No matter what level it is, it's hard to win, and to score 29 points and to win like we did, overcoming a lot of things. We were at some situations 3rd and 30, 2nd and 28, and we ended up scoring points on those drives. So the guys really battled after putting themselves in some tough situations, and we got to score more points, and the guys know that it could have been a lot more if we scored some touchdowns in there, and the score would have been a lot more.
What's your initial thoughts on Hawaii's defense, John?
Well, it's a good football team. It's a challenging scheme. They have good players. We're going to have to play very well. We have to be on top of all the different fronts they play. We have to be on top of all the different blitzes and the different coverages. And we have to be spot on in our defensive identification and our execution.
Do you look more at the Utah State film from last year or the game Saturday, or both?
Well, you got to look at both because the two things you have to do when you're evaluating a defense is the scheme and then the personnel.
Yeah.
And having to look at Utah State plus our game with them last year and their stuff this year, what it does is it gives you the personnel, and then it also gives you all those more plays of all the scheme stuff that they did last year when the defensive coordinator was at Utah State. So you got to look at both, and you got to look at everything.
They blitz a lot. They bring pressure.
They do pressure, and they bring a variety of pressures, and we got to be on top of when they're doing that, how they're doing it, and we'll be ready.
How's the energy coming off the win? I mean, it seemed like the plays were a little bit faster today, hits a little bit harder.
I thought the energy was good. We had to get them going a little bit early on, but they really responded. They want to be good. It's a group that wants to play urgently. They know they can play better, and they always want to have a great showing for themselves, because most football players at this level have great pride, and they always want to do well, not only they don't want to let themselves down, but also their team.
A few mental errors from the O-line, and then Connor Smith seemed to have a little kind of split personality out here today. A few bigger hits from him. I mean, what do you think the mentality of the team is right now?
I think it's really good. I think they're gritting their teeth a little bit. They're not satisfied with the 29-14 win. Give them credit for it, because a win is hard to get. But they know they can play better, and they want to play better on every play because, like I said earlier, they want to do it right. They got great pride, and it's a great group of kids, and they want to play even better because we need to against Hawaii.